The Ghana Economic Transformation Project is today also would be some of the programs that we shall launch, with an initial commitment in excess of a few millions, with the objective of promoting private investments and firm growth in non-resource-based sectors, all in support of government and in support of government's CARES program, which was launched last year. Mr. President, we are ready to do more for this nation and the MSME sector in the next few years, as you have tasked us to. Since I took up the role of the Executive Director of NBSSI, now acting CEO of GA, I have always envisioned an institution that could implement and oversee tangible impact and support for our MSMEs. We've been mentored by our ministers to ensure that the work we do has direct impact on the people on the ground. A lot has been done, but more must be done, because from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. And we aspire to do a whole lot more for the benefit of MSMEs and Ghanaians. We would like to rally up all our partners who are seated here today to stand by us, so together we will achieve a lot more for this nation. To all our staff, from the security guards to our BAC and BRC officers in the district offices, to the management team and MOTI staff, I salute your efforts. Our efforts in making this great vision a reality. Ghana is working through you, and we will not take this responsibility of the Ghana Enterprises Agency for granted. Your Excellency, the Ghana Enterprise Agency is once again grateful for your personal effort and that of your government in the development of the MSME sector, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic era and the support provided to date. I also would like to thank the Minister of Trade for his diligence, commitment, and knowledge, the Minister of Finance and his team, as well as the Parliament's leadership, both majority and minority, for their unwavering support to this laudable act, which, when implemented diligently, will transform this great nation of ours. We call on all MSMEs, some of whom are present here, across the nation, to take advantage of the services of the GEA for the needed business growth and expansion. Today is a great day in the history of our nation. Mr. President, the new GEA is ready to take up the mantle, and we are guided by this old nursery rhyme: good, better, best. May we never rest until our good is better and our better best. Thank you all for your support and in making this dream a reality.
Thank you so much, Madam Acting CEO. Now, she has told us from their side what they do, NBSSI, and now GEA, what they do, what they plan to do.
That will outlive all of us. While the GEA stands as the main government institution that promotes MSMEs in Ghana, we at the AGI are the leading private sector body complementing the effort on the side of the private sector. Considering the fact that a number of government programs and projects require public-private implementation, our collaboration will help in harnessing the benefits of the Ghana CARES program to accelerate government's industrialization drive as we position ourselves to effectively trade in AFTA. Our collaborations should also strengthen our capacity to support job creation for the teeming youth through SME development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, I would like to congratulate the Ghana Enterprise Agency on their new status, and we are confident that government will continue to support your efforts to deliver the mandate given to you. I wish to say congratulations and thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, sir.
Dynamism, ambition, fairness, and enterprise all moving together with the dividends of growth redistributed to provide for the contingencies of unemployment, ill health, and poor social outcomes. We have insisted on engendering production through industry, agriculture, financial infrastructure, and a stable economy. However difficult the decisions we have had to take, This commitment to investing in people's potential and enterprise is a big reason why we are here today. In truth, we had a strong year despite the pandemic. Over the past 12 months, we have successfully redefined the state's role from passive investor to market creator, entrepreneur, risk taker, and active financier. While Sub-Sahara's economy contracted by some 2.2%, we grew by 0.4%. While the whole region laid off some 25% of their workers, and about 50% of them had wage decreases, and in Africa, some 113 million jobs were lost, we were able to protect all of our public and civil servants. The Ministry of Finance is proud of what the MBSSI has done through the $750 million we gave them for the CAPBAS program. The MBSSI, for instance, has been able to disburse almost $500 million to some 292,600 Ghanaian SMEs across various sectors of the economy, ultimately supporting over 738,341 MSME jobs. In addition, the timely launch of the Development Bank of Ghana and the Capital Market Master Plan ensures that government facilitates the mobilization of resources, that's patient long-term capital, towards promising business opportunities, thereby to create jobs, boost economic growth, and support the country's financial stability. Fundamentally, these interventions are intended to remedy a deficient financial infrastructure characterized by a large proportion of MSMEs financing dominated either by bank credit, retained earnings, or informal sources. This does not build a strong and enduring economy. We were charged by the President, and I quote, "COVID-19 gives us an opportunity to recreate our country, an opportunity to ensure that there is meaningful change, and this is a challenge that we must seize now." That's the Ghana Cares program. Ladies and gentlemen, for us to recover from this global pandemic, old pathways such as austerity measures or the expectation of business as usual can return us on our path on a growth trajectory are woefully premature. COVID-19 is a crisis that requires bold and imaginative measures such as the New Deal by FDR in 1933 or the formation of Bretton Woods to lead the charge for a sustainable, build back better and greener recovery. Undoubtedly, this will require effective institutionalization of innovation, increased investment in green technology, and direction setting to revamp existing structures and infrastructure. And this is crucial for us as a country. The population under 35 is about 75% of our 30 million population, and the youth active in work, economically active youth, that's between 15 and 35 years old, also represent some third of our economy, and this is our future. We must therefore create systems of scalability, structure that would ensure that this value proposition being proposed through the Ghana Enterprise Agency comes to stay. Given our economic aspirations, the launch of the Ghana Enterprises Agency is timely and a welcome intervention, and we thank the Minister of Trade for his courage and perseverance to bring this into fruition. As the GEA will serve as government's link to supporting technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I charge the leadership of the GEA to be bold and adopt a progressive investment approach that ensures innovative enterprises across the country receive sufficient support to unleash their potential. Our recovery as a country will be anchored on your ability to become a powerful tool for driving growth, employment, and innovation for an entire generation. I implore you that even though we may have continual fitful nights, so we should. So we are quickened to find solutions as you now represent the visible hands of the state to ensure that our 10 million youth are empowered and entrepreneurial. I am confident that you will live up to the lofty expectations set for you, and I look forward to working closely with you to strengthen government's delivery of the Ghana Cares Over Atampa program to transform our country to a prosperous, entrepreneurial, and confident people that will last. I thank you for your attention, and may God bless our country and make it great and strong.
Thank you so much, the Honorable Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta. We do a lot of the work we do in this country with our partners at the international stage especially, and it is great to have a representative from the World Bank. Indeed, the country director is in our midst, and it's fair to hear from him. Please let's welcome with a round of applause, Mr. Pierre-Frank Laporte.
Your Excellency, Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, Honorable Minister for Finance, Mr. Ofori-Atta, Honorable Minister for Trade and Industries, Mr. Alan Kirimaten, Honorable Ministers, CEO of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Captains of Industry, fellow development partners, the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure for me to represent the World Bank here today at the official launch of the Ghana Enterprises Agency. Let me start by congratulating the entire team at GA for their tireless work in achieving these important milestones for the Ghanaian MSMEs ecosystem. It goes without saying that such an important milestone would not have been possible without the support and inputs from several key stakeholders within the government, especially the Ministry of Finance and especially the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Congratulations. Your Excellency, I'm delivering this statement at a time when the government has already taken progressive actions to get the economy back on track after the global shock of COVID-19, which is still ravaging other parts of the world. Notable is the bold and ambitious Ghana Cares program, which will not only stabilize and revitalize the economy, but also transform Ghana's economy to create jobs and prosperity for Ghanaians, especially the teeming youth. The World Bank Group is genuinely committed to supporting Ghana through our programs. This afternoon, we are not only celebrating the launching of GA, but also other equally significant milestones, such as the MSME and entrepreneurship policy, the call for proposals for COVID-19 recovery grants window, and call for proposals for the SMEs tourism grants, where GA is collaborating with the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture to support the tourism sector. The World supports these initiatives through the Ghana Economic Transformation Project and the Ghana Tourism Development Project. From a holistic angle, the World Bank has been working with the government on various recent projects to improve digital infrastructure and increase digital technology adoption. The bank recently funded a survey of firms' adoption of technology, which is helping to identify gaps in adoption of technology. This survey has highlighted that technology adoption is particularly low in the manufacturing sector. During this post-recovery phase, we mentioned particularly to tackling the low productivity of firms, as these will be crucial to their recovery and participation in local and international markets. Over the past 3 decades, productivity growth has been led mainly by the agriculture and mining sectors. With stagnating and declining productivity in services and manufacturing respectively. Hence, there is a strong need to raise productivity in manufacturing and in services, particularly the lowest productivity service subsectors like wholesale and retail, and services conducted by household enterprises, all of which fall within the MSME bracket. Firm productivity can also be achieved through adopting better capabilities within the existing firms, such as soft technologies like improved management practices and hard technologies like computers and machinery. The adoption of various technological advances has been shown to raise productivity, while better management practices have consistently been shown to be a key factor in raising firm productivity. Also, Ghana needs to focus on cultivating the growth of large firms. One way to do this is by encouraging new entrants, which can be achieved through reducing barriers to entry, increasing competition, attracting more FDI, and improving the business climate so that more new businesses can enter the market. Your Excellency, I want to underscore that the Ghana Enterprise Agency and its far-reaching regional and district coverage will play a key role in this process of developing the capabilities of MSMEs through various support and initiatives such as technical assistance, advisory services, training programs, and improved access to finance, all of which would have a positive effect on firm productivity and growth. Finally, let me present my statement by expressing the bank's sincere appreciation to the event organizers and all our partners, especially the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade and Industry, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, and of course, the GA. Thank you very much. Medase.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's great. The GEA, the Ghana Enterprises Agency, is just an agency. It needs an implementing or a policy driver. Now, that policy driver is the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Luckily for us, we have a minister who perhaps is one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced minister at the Ministry of Trade. And so it's only fair to hear from him as the driver of this policy. The Honorable Alan Kojo-Tramantin, I give him to you. Please let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Mr. President, colleague honorable ministers of state, the Vice President of the Association of Ghana Industries, the CEO of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, the Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism, and other honorable members of Parliament, the Country Director of the World Bank, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, and representatives of the Development Partner Community, distinguished captains of the business community here in Ghana, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start first by expressing our very profound gratitude to His Excellency the President for taking time off his very busy schedule to join us in celebrating this particular event. I'm not sure whether it is classified information or not. But this morning, as chairman of ECOWAS, he had to fly to Burkina Faso, and he's made it a point to be back to join us for this event. This is a clear demonstration of his personal commitment to the development of the MSME sector. The contribution of MSMEs to economic transformation around the world has never been in doubt. Many of the global iconic companies that we all admire and we all celebrate, many of them started as small businesses. In the United States, Facebook was started by a student of Harvard College, Mark Zuckerberg, whilst he was still a student. And from this very humble beginning, the company now turns over annually over 180 billion US dollars. In the same country, Amazon was started in the garage of Jeff Bezos. And currently, Amazon turns over every year over 380 billion US dollars. They don't own any gold resources. They don't have diamond. They don't have timber. And yet, every year, they are able to turn over 5 times the GDP of our country. In Ghana, the story is no different. In the early 90s, when I started a program called Empretech that supported the growth of small and medium enterprises, one of the companies that I mentored and incubated that came in as a startup company, Casapreco, is now one of our most celebrated indigenous companies. The Despite group of companies started as a tabletop enterprise and moved into a small shop. Again, as you're all aware, Despite group of companies is also one of our most celebrated Ghanaian companies. Everywhere in the world that MSMEs have thrived, there's evidence of first an enabling policy environment and also strong institutional support from government. It is against this background that the MPP government, led by His Excellency the President of our Republic, has taken a number of very important strategic steps. First is the development of an SME policy, which is one of the key pillars of our 10-point industrial transformation agenda. The most powerful tool available to a government is not money. It is our capacity to develop the right policies. If you have the right policies, the money will follow. And so I think that it is to the credit of our president that he has shepherded us to develop, as the CEO of the GA said, the first MSME policy in Ghana. Secondly, we've also, as a government, enhanced the profile and the resource base of this new institution, the Ghana Enterprises Agency, which becomes the apex body for the MSME sector. GEA will become one of the most decentralized departments or agencies of government. Currently, we have over 63 business resource centers spread across different districts and over 190 business advisory centers, which is bringing entrepreneurship and enterprise development to the doorstep of the average Ghanaian. Government has also taken a decision to elevate the importance of SMEs in this country, people. And that is why MSMEs will become very important for us in the post-COVID economy. Number 4, our president has articulated for us the most profound policy directive or philosophy for our country, Ghana Beyond Aid. Ghana Beyond Aid means that you do not want to now depend solely or primarily on development aid. So you need another agent that will create capital to finance our development. And that is why MSMEs are very critical for us to realize our objective of Ghana Beyond Aid. Last but not the least is the creation of a continental single market for Africa. This is, again, the most important development on our continent since the establishment of the Organization of African Unity. But AfTA does not automatically confer any benefit to any country. You have to be able to produce to take advantage of the market opportunity. And that is why, as a country, the key for us to benefit from AfTA will be how well we treat and support our SMEs. So, Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the light of all the foregoing, I'm sure you'll agree with me that today's ceremony is opening a new chapter for us in the history of the economic transformation of our country. Our quest to become an entrepreneurial society must be our overriding national development priority. And it is my fervent hope that government will work together collaboratively with the business associations, with Parliament, with development partners, with CSOs and other stakeholders to make the MSMEs the center of our national development agenda. I thank you for your attention.
So much, ladies and gentlemen. I believe it's my singular honor now to invite the president of the land to do what we've been waiting for, and I believe we should be upstanding as we invite him to the stage to officially launch for us the Ghana Enterprises Agency, which is the icing on the cake for this ceremony. Mr. President, you're welcome.
The Minister for Trade and Industry, Minister for Finance, Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Chairperson of Parliament's Select Committee on Industry, Trade and Tourism, the Director General of SIGA, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Vice President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Country Director of the World Bank, members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to be here in what should turn out to be a happy day for our nation's micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises, MSMEs. We're here today to launch the Ghana Enterprises Agency, GEA, the National Micro, Small, and Medium-Scale Enterprises, MSMEs, and Entrepreneurship Policy, and the GEA grants support for SMEs under the Ghana Economic Transformation Project. You'll all agree with me that in these times when COVID-19 is still with us, support for enterprises is indeed very welcome. For us in the New Patriotic Party, the party from which my government was born, the primacy of the private sector in the development of our national economy is fundamental. It is the very basis of our economic philosophy, and has been so for the last 70 years. We have never wavered in our belief that given an enabling environment, the creativity, ingenuity, and sense of enterprise of the Ghanaian will allow us to build a strong, powerful economy which will deliver a good, dignified standard of living to our people. Hence the significance of the transformation of the National Board for Small-Scale Industries into the new Ghana Enterprises Agency, GEA. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the priorities of my government since I assumed office in January 2017 has been to transform the structure of our economy from one characterized by being producers and exporters of raw materials to a value-added industrialized one, which will create the necessary numbers of jobs needed for the masses of Ghanaian youth. We cannot realize this vision fully without creating and strengthening an agency for the MSME sector to play a lead role in the transformation process. One might ask, why MSMEs? The answer is simple. It is because the sector employs more than 80% of the workforce and generates some 70% of the gross domestic product. That notwithstanding, the sector is confronted with numerous challenges, such as the lack of a clear policy shaping the direction of the sector, as well as insufficient finance, all of these accentuated now by COVID-19. Indeed, the recent COVID-19 Business Tracker Survey, conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program and the World Bank, revealed that COVID-19 has led to significant job losses, with many Ghanaian businesses and firms being forced to cut costs by reducing staff hours, cutting wages, and in some cases, laying off workers. Fortunately for public sector workers, government's efficient management of public finances made it possible to avoid both wage cuts and layoffs in the public sector. As many countries scramble to find support for MSMEs, we in Ghana foresaw the potential damage to our economy and the impact on MSMEs. This led us to announce and implement the Coronavirus Alleviation Program Business Support Scheme over a year ago. The goal was to limit the impact of the pandemic on job losses and livelihoods by supporting MSMEs. Administered by the then NBSSI, now GEA, the novel 750 million CD stimulus package from government to the private sector provided relief to various businesses in order to help sustain them and help keep staff on the payroll. Government further partnered with the MasterCard Foundation, again through NBSSI, to advance to MSMEs an additional amount of 90 million CDs as part of the NBSSI MasterCard Foundation COVID-19 Recovery and Resilience Program, also referred to as the Nkosua Program for MSMEs, in line with government's priority to achieve economic transformation, COVID-19 notwithstanding. To date, some 300,000 businesses have benefited from these interventions. Indeed, businesses and associations have given testimonies of how they survived and are thriving during the pandemic, all thanks to the support they received. We know there is more work to be done, and we are doing the work. We shall not rest on our oars. Government is working systematically to ensure that we find more solutions to support entrepreneurs and their MSMEs to fuel their growth. The 100 billion CD Ghana Cares or Bantampa project is one such innovative initiative which will help revitalize and transform the economy. It indeed anchors bright prospects for the medium term. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Micro, Small and Medium Scale Enterprises and Entrepreneurship Policy being launched today is the first of its kind in Ghana. It is a policy designed to direct the growth of the sector, provide clear policy direction and opportunities for all actors within the MSME's space to enable them contribute meaningfully towards the development of the country. The Ghana Enterprises Agency, GEA, has been prescribed by the National MSME and Entrepreneurship Policy to implement the policy. The Act establishing the agency makes GEA the apex body to coordinate and promote the growth and development of MSMEs in the country. GEA will lead the way in creating a dynamic MSME ecosystem and entrepreneurial community to help propel Ghana's growth. The policy direction is to reduce, if not eliminate, the duplication of efforts currently being witnessed in the MSME sector, ensure the judicious use of resources, implement programs to formalize and support the informal sector, and design interventions to support MSMEs in the country. As I indicated at the start of my address, I'm also launching the GEA SME Grant Fund, established to support SMEs to recover from the effects of COVID-19 and also help them to resuscitate their operations under the Ghana Economic Transformation Project backed by the World Bank. Disbursement of this grant, amounting to 145 million cedis, will be made to 250 to 350 SMEs to help them grow into sustainable businesses, capable of competing on the regional, continental, and global stages. I assure all MSMEs that this is just the beginning. The best is yet to come, and government will help ensure that the sector receives more support to help in its transformation process. An essential feature of all successful developed economies is the existence of a dynamic MSME sector. Ghana will be no different. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to launch the Ghana Enterprises Agency, the National MSME and Entrepreneurship Policy, and the GEA SME Grant Fund. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. And Mr. President, there's just a second part of the assignment that I'll be very happy if you could help us with, which is the unveiling of the new logo for the Ghana Enterprises Agency. So with the help of the various institutions, please, let's, Mr. President, help us with a button that you'd have to press to with the CEO and the two ministers. Yes. So there's a new baby. We are doing the outdooring. And are we ready? There's Isn't it lovely? Yes. So here we have the new logo. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. President and dignitaries. Thank you so much. We can please resume our seats. Thank you. Now, we've been told what the journey has been so far, but let's have a graphical representation of how NBSSI became the Ghana Enterprises Agency. We have a quick animation that gives us a better perspective. So let's please look at our screens. Thank you so much for having been with us, and Mr. President, we are really grateful that you joined us this afternoon despite your busy schedules. Having gone to Burkina Faso and back, that means he really takes this business seriously. And we also crave your indulgence, Mr. President, for a quick group photograph with officials of GEA, the CEO and the ministers here present. So if we could kindly, camera, help us do a quick photograph at the naming ceremony of the GEA. Directors of GEA, ministers, and members of parliament here present. Directors, you can join us now. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. And the President will now take leave of us with the dignitaries. So let's please remain seated while the President takes leave of us. Kindly resume your seats, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. We started with God Almighty. Let's invite Him also to bless our occasion. So please, as we remain seated, I'm going to invite for the closing prayer to be said for us, Said Momin, who is president of the Association of Small Scale Industries, to give us a closing prayer. Let's please wait for the closing prayer. Thank you. Can we please take our seats while we wait for the closing prayer? Yes. Wa alaikum salam. We have a prayer in session, please.